All right, so we've gone and distilled the wisdom from dozens of the world's best finance books, all into one single explainer. If you've ever wanted that roadmap to financial success, but didn't want to read a mountain of books to get it, you are in the exact right place. Let's jump right in.
Okay, so right out of the gate, we're hitting you with a quote that probably goes against everything you've ever heard about money. Forget diversifying, at least for now. Guys like Andrew Carnegie, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, they didn't get rich by spreading their bets. They got rich by focusing like a laser on one thing. The idea is you get rich by focusing, you stay rich by diversifying. Today we're going to talk about how to build that first basket.
So here's the game plan. We're going to break this down into 4 parts. First, we'll tackle your money mindset. Then we'll walk through the simple path to wealth. After that, we'll get into some smart spending strategies, and we'll wrap it all up with how to build wealth that truly lasts.
First up, shifting your money mindset. And this is so important because before you ever make a single dollar, you have to get this one thing straight. Building wealth is mostly a mental game. Seriously, it all starts right between your ears.
I mean, look at this contrast. It's so powerful. How many of us have done this, right? Spent an entire hour driving across town, going from store to store, just to save a few cents on something. That's what we'd call a poor mentality. You're basically valuing your time at pennies an hour. The rich mentality. It's a completely different universe. It's an obsession with the question, how can I make 1 hour of my time incredibly valuable?
Okay, this next idea, this is a total game changer. Stop thinking of money as just paper or numbers on a screen. Think of it as your life energy. It represents actual hours of your life that you traded to get it. So that $80 jacket, the question isn't, do I have $80? The real question is this jacket worth 2 full 8-hour days of my life? When you start thinking like that, it changes everything.
This reminds me of a story from a university economics class. The professor asks all the students what their career goals are, and like 99% of them say they want to get a great job working for a big, successful company. But just a tiny handful, they said they wanted to build one of those companies. And get this, 12 years later, pretty much everyone got exactly what they aimed for. It just goes to show you, the scope of your ambition really does set the ceiling for what you can achieve.
All right, so now that we've got our heads in the right space, let's move on to section 2, the simple path to wealth. We're going to look at the core principles that actually work, without any of the jargon or the usual complexity, just the straight-up goods. I mean, it really doesn't get any simpler than this. If you take one thing from a book like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's this single, simple action, buy more assets. That's the whole game, right there. But that begs the question, what is an asset, really? And this, right here, is the $1 million distinction. It's super simple. An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes money out of your pocket. The whole goal is to keep acquiring things that pay you, not things that you have to keep paying for. And this is where it gets really cool in today's world. An asset isn't just a house anymore. I mean, look at this. A YouTube video you make one time can keep generating ad revenue month after month after month. It's an asset. A mobile app, an ebook. These are all assets you can build that work for you. This is what some people call the law of affection. Your income is basically just a reflection of the number of people you help. Think about it. Why is Jeff Bezos so much wealthier than your local barber? It's not because he's a better person, it's because he built a system that helps millions and millions of people get what they want easily. If you want to make more, you gotta help more. It's that simple. Okay, let's get practical. On to section 3, strategies for smart spending. We've talked about the mindset and the big picture plan. Now let's dig into the actual how-to of managing your money day in and day out. Okay, look at this chart. This is absolutely mind-blowing, and it shows the insane power of compound interest. So you've got Billy, who invests just a little bit for only 5 years when he's young and then stops. Then you have Kim, who invests almost 8 times more money over 39 years. But who ends up with more? Billy. Why? Because he started earlier. This proves it. Time, not the amount of money you invest, is your single greatest asset. So if you hate the idea of a strict, miserable budget, you are going to love this. It's called a conscious spending plan. The whole idea is to automate everything. First, you take care of your savings and investments. Then you cover your fixed costs like rent and bills. And the best part? Whatever's left over, that 20% or so, is your guilt-free spending money. Go nuts! Buy the expensive coffee, take the vacation. It's all good because you already handled the important stuff. Now, if you're dealing with debt, this method is a lifesaver. And here's the thing, Mathematically, it might not be the absolute fastest way to pay off debt, but psychologically, it's unbeatable. You start by attacking your smallest debt first. Once you knock that out, you get this huge psychological win, this boost of motivation. Then you take that payment and roll it into the next smallest debt, creating this unstoppable snowball of momentum. So let me ask you, what's your Latte factor? This is about finding those small, consistent expenses that are just quietly draining your bank account every month. And hey, for you, it might not actually be lattes. It could be that gym membership you never use, or all those streaming subscriptions, or eating out for lunch every single day. Find your Latte factor and you'll find a whole bunch of money you didn't know you had.
And that brings us to our final section, building wealth that lasts. This is where we elevate our thinking. We're moving beyond just earning money and into how to preserve it and grow it for generations. This is the long game.
This is just a wild story. There's an Italian family that managed to preserve its wealth for over 800 years. I'm talking 31 generations, through plagues, market crashes, 2 world wars, you name it. And their secret? It was this incredibly simple portfolio. A third in land, a third in gold, and a third in valuable art. They just focused on real, tangible assets that endure through time.
Now, if you want to build truly serious wealth, you have to understand leverage. Leverage is how you break the link between your time and your income. There are 3 basic types. You can use other people's time, which is labor. You can use other people's money, which is capital. Or, and this is the most powerful form today, you can use code and media. You create a piece of software or video once, and it can work for you and serve millions of people even while you're sleeping.
I want you to really let this one sink in. You know, when most people say they want to be a millionaire, what they're really picturing is spending $1 million. But that's the literal opposite of being a millionaire. True wealth isn't the fancy car or the big house. It's the money you don't spend. It's the assets you have that give you freedom and options.
This is such a critical final lesson. You have to know when to stop. You have to have a finish line. Otherwise, the goalposts will just keep moving forever. I mean, just look at the cautionary tale of Rajat Gupta. This was a CEO worth $100 million, and he threw it all away just to make a little bit more through an illegal insider trade. You have to define what enough is for you, or greed can make you risk everything you've worked so hard to build.
So, we've covered a lot. The mindset, the strategy, the day-to-day tactics. And you know what? The principles for building wealth are surprisingly simple. They really are. But just knowing this stuff isn't what makes you powerful. The real challenge, the only question that truly matters is this. Will you become the person who actually acts on them? Because that is what makes all the difference.